Hello, hello. What is going on, guys? This is a late night video with me, the Stonk Dad. It is currently 11:45 Pacific time, and let me take these off because I don't need them. But yeah, it's 11:45 at night, and I finally got to sit down and make this video. I wanted to make it earlier, but I got a little caught up in some family things, which is okay. But yeah, I'm glad that I got to sit down here and make a quick video. Hopefully I'll post this tonight, and if you guys are not awake, which I'm sure most of you are not, you'll be able to watch it tomorrow. But I wanted to hop on and do a quick video recap of what happened today on the flow data, as well as the Gex tools and my thought process on what went down today, as well as go over the two trades that I did take. And hopefully you guys learn a lot from this. I do want to make more of these intraday videos and thought process videos recaps. I feel like you guys like that, and it's good for me as well to kind of look back and see what I did during the day, and then it may help you guys in how I kind of view things and maybe help along with your trading journey as well. So let's get right into it. Okay, so let's see. Let me scroll up here. So this is, I like to journal what I look at in the data, and this is what the journaling is. I just make individual posts in Discord, and then I jot everything down so all you guys can see my thought process going on through the day when this live data does come out. So right at the beginning of the day today, we did see some bearish flow. But it quickly reversed and we saw some bullish flow. Now, if we go over here to the chart, we can see exactly what happened. So at the beginning of the day, we did see that bearish flow, which kind of triggered my attention towards us seeing a sell-off. But then we did see that call flow rip, which kind of confused me a little bit because we were turning down. We broke back below that 478, and then we broke that low a day. That beginning entry candle there, and we continued down towards that 476 Gex level. So that did confuse me a lot, but what did really well is the gray convergence, which kept you out of those long positions. You can see that calls came up quite rapidly, and then this white line here is the price of SPY. You can see SPY kept going down and down, but the gray convergence did very well in that aspect in keeping you out of longs until something happened. And that was kind of what I was looking for. I was looking for that green convergence flip so I could catch the reversal back up, because I did miss this downturn, which is obviously okay. I like playing with the flow and getting in on those convergence flips. Now, what was also a little bit confusing today is there was a large pull on the 480 Gex level. But you can tell that we never got above that 478 level for the whole entire day. So we never got to see that 480, and there were a lot more Gex levels to the downside, which those ones hit instead of that 480. Now, when I do look at Gex levels, I do tend to follow with what the flow says. So if there's bullish flow and there's a higher level from where we're at right now, I tend to look at those more often than not, especially the ones that are moving live as it's happening. If you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, the Gex, I suggest you go into my YouTube channel, and my most popular videos are about Gex. So catch up on those. It's an awesome tool to use. So moving on here. Just reiterating what I said earlier about the bullish flow, you can see calls coming up and then puts coming down, which is very bullish, but that gray convergence is still active, and we're still in this downtrend here heading towards that 476 Gex level. It's probably kind of hard to see, but you get the idea. Okay. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, when are we going to bounce? When are we going to pivot? When can I catch the move up? Because flow is bullish, and you can see when I entered a trade a little bit later here. Let's see when I entered it. You can see that I'm still pointing out that gray convergence, and then that 476 Gex level, which is the positive. You guys know that positive Gex levels tend to allow support depending on where price is. It could be support or resistance levels, but in this case, since we were heading down towards it, that would be our support level. We did get a little bit below it around the 475.50 level, but in this case, we did hold it pretty well, especially here on SPY. This was the 476 level, this line here. We did break below it, but then we recovered, hit many times today, which it was kind of hard to trade. I'm not going to lie. It did get kind of choppy, but eventually convergence played out very, very well. So this was actually the trade that I did get in. So the first green convergence flip of the day, I did get into this one. Now, I managed this position very, very, very well. It didn't work out in the long run. Like, I don't think that contract ever topped up more than like 6 or 7%, I think, for the specific contract that I did get in for SPY. But it's vital that you guys are disciplined in your trading, because these things, even though this tool has a really high win rate, it can really bite you in the butt, especially if you get the Uno reverse card thrown at you, which in fact it did happen today. But in my case, I did end up being overall green on that trade, even though like within a minute or 2 minutes it went extremely red, like minus 20% or so on those contracts. But I'll explain a little bit more about what I did in this situation here. But yeah, I did get in on this green convergence flip, and I can tell you right here on the chart when that did flip. So you can see that we came down here, we bounced on a 475.50 area, and then we came back up, broke above EMAs, we came back down, retested EMAs, and that's when the convergence kind of flipped right here. And then that's when I entered, and you can see that it didn't last very, very long. We did get a nice little spike there, about 30 cents or so. In that case, I did trim off most of my contracts because I saw that great convergence was flipping. I can show you exactly what happened there. Let me pull this up. Sorry, I'm moving my camera. So this is the one that I got in right here. So you can see that this is the first the first green convergence that I got in right here on the pullback to the EMAs. We entered there, and it did go up slightly, and but it did flip gray, and then that's kind of when I exited my entire position. And you can see that it was getting very, very weak. You could see puts coming up slightly in this certain situation when we were in it, and we got a huge down move, this big red candle here on SPY, which stopped out me on my contracts green. But if you were not disciplined in that trade, you would have probably been red on it. But yeah, just reiterating how important it is to be disciplined in your trades. If you're in a trade, always be, in my strategy specifically, I look for 10 to 15%, maybe even 20 to trim off most of my contracts. And then I set my stop losses at break even. But in this case, I did kind of revise that strategy a little bit. I didn't wait for the 10 to 15%. I noticed that convergence turned gray and I was green, so I automatically trimmed most of my contracts. If there's no strength in the convergence, I tend to be a little bit more cautious in that trade. And it actually played out for me. So I did trim off most of them, and then I set my stop losses pretty quick after I trimmed those. So this happened within like 15 minutes, I want to say. So you did have to be pretty quick in that, but more often than not, I like to be in trades that are a little bit more safer and you can hold it for a little bit longer. But in this case, I had to be a little bit more disciplined, which is okay. And then eventually the green conversions played out during lunchtime, which kind of sucks because I don't like trading during the middle of the day. But in this current situation that we had today, green convergence did play out in the middle of the day, and it went from like 475.50 all the way up to 477, which is a really, really big move. This move right here is nice uptrend. But regardless, that's the only SPY trade that I did get in today. It was really, really small. It was choppy and it wasn't the best entry on my part. I wish I would have played this one, but this move here is kind of what I was expecting earlier today. We just had to be a little bit more patient, which is okay. We just run it back and we keep the strategy going because it does work out. As you can tell here, it did work out eventually. But yeah, other than that trade, that was kind of my thought process going into how flow was today. It was choppy all around. You could see that puts started to come up and we got really messy at the end of the day. But Convergence did a very, very good job keeping you out of bad positions and then in the good ones, like this one today. And then this one here, you could see a nice pullback when Gray Convergence flipped around the top of the market today during the midday. And then, yeah, it kind of chopped around for the most part. But yeah, that was my SPY trade for today. I hope you guys liked that little recap. I also do want to talk a little bit about the swing trade that I did get in, which did phenomenal. Now, this is the TradingFlow chart. I used to use this quite often before MarketNetFlow and Gex came out. I like to look at these large orders and then get into some swing trades, and it's starting to grow on me a little bit more like it used to back in the day. Because some of these have been very, very good. So this one right here I took on the 11th of January, which was yesterday actually, so almost 2 days ago. But these were some February 16th puts for the 50 strike and on CRE, which is the regional bank ETF. You could see that the premiums were pretty high. When it's highlighted green, it's a high premium. And then yeah, it's pretty close expiration. So I always look for the higher orders on this specific tool, the TradingFlow tool. So anything above 10 is pretty good. And if it's especially above 15, I like to pay close attention to it. And then high premiums I look for as well. So over the past 3 or 4 trades I've done using the TradingFlow tool over the past few weeks, maybe a month or so, they've been doing really, really well. We got into some Google puts a few weeks ago, and then CRE, as well as there was an NVIDIA one that went for over 1,000%, which was insane last week. These have been very, very good. So this is a trade that I took. We were down pretty heavy at market open today, but if you go on over here, you can check out to see what the whales are doing in that specific contract. Let me pull it up actually. Oh, maybe it was right here anyways. So you can go over to this whale tracker and you can track a contract. You can put in the ticker, and then whether it's a call or put, fill the symbol contract so it loads all of it. And then you can choose your expiration and strike price and how many days you want to look back to see what the whales are doing over the last few days or so. So in this situation, we were down like about 10 to 20% or so at market open on those swings. But I went over here and I could see what the whales were doing. They were still holding. So that gave me a little bit more confidence in holding that position. And almost immediately when I looked at that this morning, CRE went straight down, which is good for our puts. And you can see that they started to buy up a little bit more, especially towards the middle of the day. And those contracts actually topped out at about 20 to 22% when we were down 15 or so percent at market open. So that was a really, really good swing trade for us. We got a few trims off there, and we're holding the rest of the runners into next week. But that's a really, really good trade. I always pay attention to these, and I dive deep into each and every single one to make sure that it's okay, and it's something that I would like to throw some money at. But in this situation, we did very good. All of our swings have been doing very well as our day trades too. So I'm going to keep up with this strategy, and I'll keep you guys updated on how it goes. It's been going pretty well. So if you guys are interested in coming in with me and discussing all the TradingFlow orders that we have here, as well as Gex, MarketNetFlow, Convergence, and all that, I do that in Discord, and we do it every single day, all day long. It is my bread and butter. I enjoy interacting with all of you and getting to know all of you on an individual level. It's super awesome. But yeah, if you're interested in that, I'll post the link down below in the description. If you guys do have any questions about anything regarding any of the data that I discussed today, please feel free to leave a comment down below, and I can kind of direct you on a video that I probably posted, or I can make a new video. It's up to you, or up to me, sorry. It's getting late, guys. I don't know what I'm saying. It's almost midnight here, and I'm just making a video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I will see you all in the next one.